So this is part two. Um, I think I was talking about adaptogens last before I ended the first one. Um, so yeah. Um, so that fatigue, just being tired all the time, that was like a big insecurity for me as well. Because I just felt like it wasn't normal. Like, how am I gonna be accepted? How can I even live when I'm so tired all the time? I can't even function as a human being. How can anyone accept me? And it felt so real, but that's not the truth. Um, but yeah, so I'm getting better with fatigue. But the thing is, because my adrenals went out, it just killed my hormone balance in my body. It's, with other adaptogens and everything I'm doing, my hormone balance is getting a lot better, and I believe that I will get to complete restoration in time. Maybe not even that much more time, but um, one thing it did is it really affected my voice. Um, so I never had the loudest voice, I never had the strongest voice, but growing up, it wasn't like such an insecurity to me. It was not a strength for me, but it wasn't something that I thought about. But after just having adrenal fatigue, it just made my voice a lot weaker and a lot less consistent, a lot less dependable, and just really weak and frail. And I was even more soft spoken after that, because it's like, if you don't have energy in your body, how are you gonna have energy in your voice, right? So um, it was really, really something that I struggled with a lot, and I still do to this day, because I just had this belief that I was defective. Um, and if you really believe that you are defective, that's killer on your psyche, um, because I felt like I couldn't communicate with people. How can I communicate with anyone when I can't even speak properly? So that's something I still struggle with. Um, that might be the biggest thing I struggle with, especially because in some situations when I have to do a presentation or I'm in a really stressful environment, my my voice would just close up on me and I just can't talk really. Um, Another thing is just the family that I was raised in. My parents love me and I love them, and we don't have like big issues. We talk, we care for each other. But the thing is, I just never felt accepted for who I am growing up, and I felt like there were so many like rigid rules and ways I had to be and I couldn't be, and I was always afraid growing up, and I just never really felt accepted for me. I never felt that safe, and my parents, especially my mom, who raised me, really, she has this, even though she has a lot of great traits, she also has this part of her that's very critical and kind of judgmental and kind of strict in her thinking. And subconscious, I can just kind of understand these rules even when I was a little kid. And I wasn't like many other kids where I was just free and carefree and just doing what I want, saying what I want, just being me. I was always kind of afraid. Oh, how should I act? How do I need to be? What will my parents think? Things like that. So that definitely had a big impact on my relationship with my family. Even though I care for them and we don't have any like big issues, like we don't fight or anything, um, we're definitely not close. Uh, I would do anything for them, but we're just not close at all, because I still have this wall up. I just can't let my wall down with them. I've never really been free to be me around them. I just never knew how to be me around them, and it's such a big struggle because even in my own family I wasn't like that. It just made me be very closed and unable to express myself with pretty much anyone in my life. Um, Self-expression is just something, it's like such a big thing for me. Being open, self-expression is something I struggle with big time. Um, and hopefully, as I keep making these videos like every single day for hopefully a couple months, I'll get much better with self-expression. Uh, but the one person that I was able to really be me around is my first girlfriend, um, which I got in high school when I was a junior. And at first I was so anxious. I was so scared around her because I hadn't really been that close to any girl even until that age. And but for some reason she really liked me, and after we would talk like hours every day, and after some time, I think a couple months, I just lost all fear around her, and I really found out who I was. I was just spontaneous. I was just expressing myself. I was just so free. I was kind of like an extrovert. I was just talking all the time. Never ran out of anything to say. Even though if I wanted to be quiet, I was quiet. That was fine. I just felt like I found me, and around her, I wasn't stressed at all. I wasn't drained at all. I just felt good, and I really enjoyed being with her. And yeah, I found out that I actually had a personality. I'm much more than just someone shy and anxious and not saying anything. And that was really a blessing to me, because if I didn't have that experience, then I might question if I just had no personality, or what's wrong with me, or yeah. So if for some reason you guys never got to experience, you just feel like you have some other personality inside of you that's trying to get out but just can't, and you're just questioning if you just have no personality or something like that, that can be a hope for you that you actually do have a personality, and it might even be a really big personality, and it's just not being shown right now because of your anxiety, but it's possible for that personality of yours to come out with the right effort and habits and consistency and thinking. So, but after that girlfriend, which I dated for about a year, I really didn't date anyone. I was really afraid to let anyone in because of my anxiety, and I was so afraid of being vulnerable. I just couldn't imagine dating anyone. I couldn't let my guard down. I couldn't let them know all of my weaknesses. And also because I had anxiety and just didn't really ask anyone out or anything. I just didn't have a girlfriend for all this time. I'm 25 now, since when I was junior in high school. So that's something I struggle with, and something that I hope will change relatively soon. Another thing is just like not having girl. I have friends, but I don't really have that many friends, and I don't really hang out with my friends that much because, well, right now it's because I'm just doing so much work, and there's only so much time in the day that I need to just focus on a lot of work. But because I'm just closed and just can't really express myself, and just not really trusting of other people, and just not very open, just being anxious and everything. Like, it's hard to have friends, it's hard to maintain friends, it's hard to be around people a lot, just being drained by them. So it's partly because I choose not to be around people, and partly because I don't really get to. I don't know. I'd say I not get to, but I don't really interact with that many people. Uh, now I do a lot more, but for the longest time I just didn't. I just didn't like being around people that much because of my anxiety. Even though I wanted to be around people and I like people, I would just I just rather be alone than being around people because of my anxiety and everything that comes with it. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to make a part 3.